Okay, for today's video, we are going to finally review the Beast of the Mesozoic, Tyrannosaurus Rex, in the Walking with Dinosaurs color scheme. This is the 135 scale figure, but this is easily one of my most highly anticipated figures to ever review on the channel for so many reasons. This was one of the figures that I ordered and talked about before on the channel, but I've had it in the box for a while and I wanted to unbox it, but I took the little channel break and I just had some stuff lined up that I wanted to upload before it, and now we're finally here where I finally get to upload it. So yeah, so this figure has been in the box at my house for months now, but I finally get to unbox it and get to review it, so I'm so excited. And not only that, but just it being a Beast of the Mesozoic figure. Beast of the Mesozoic is easily one of my favorite lines of dinosaur figures ever. And then with it being the Walking with Dinosaurs color scheme, one of my biggest reasons I love dinosaurs so much, with that being one of the biggest documentaries for me, it's just such an awesome figure to get. So yeah, this is easily one of the most highly anticipated figures that I've ever gotten. And not, like I said, not only is this Beast of Mesozoic figure, but it's the Walking with Dinosaurs T-Rex. And like I said, I really love both of the series. I love Walking with Dinosaurs since I grew up with it. And Beast of the Mesozoic, I've been a fan of it since before the figures even got released. I remember seeing the raptors come up on the Dino Toy Blog or something. I remember seeing about the figures when they were only on the Kickstarter, before they even had came out, and I thought that they were going to be awesome. And they went past my expectations. So yeah, a combination of two of my favorite things. This is easily a figure that was a must get for me. And with this figure being a Beast of the Mesozoic figure, I kind of have to do my individual figure review format a little differently. Usually I go over information about the animal and then go over the figure, but since I've got to unbox this figure and stuff, I'll go over the figure first and then go over some information about T-Rex. But I mean, most of the T-Rex information stuff that pretty much everybody watching this channel, I think, will know, or a lot of it. And this is actually my first time reviewing a Tyrannosaurus Rex figure on the channel, which is kind of surprising. I mean, I've talked about T-Rex a ton, but to actually review the figure, it's going to be the first time I've reviewed specifically a T-Rex. I have reviewed some of its relatives like Albertosaurus, and I'll put a link to some of those videos. But yeah, this is the first time actually reviewing a T-Rex on the channel. And I almost missed out on this figure, actually, even though it was one I really wanted. I kind of waited a little bit on the Kickstarter, and then when I actually messaged him on Instagram, it was actually past the original date that you could finalize it, but they got delayed, so I was able to order it, and I think a few other people were probably able to get it too. But I lucked up with this figure being delayed. I might have still been able to get one, but I think I lucked up with it getting delayed for sure. But yeah, now let's just get into the unboxing. So it comes in this awesome Beast of the Mesozoic box that's pays homage to the Walking with Dinosaurs old style boxes. So I'll just try to get while I was rotating the box, my phone fell off, so I just set it back up. But yeah, I've got, with this box being as big as it is on the table I've gotten recording on my phone, I have to have the phone really close to the edge. But it's propped up, and that's why I guess it fell whenever the shaking of moving the box. But yeah, so this is what the back of the box looks like. It's really cool. So it's got some information like 68 to 65 million years ago, died exclusively carnivorous, the size of around 40-ish feet, 12.4 meters, and could have weighed around 8 tons or over 8 tons. Yeah, just some basic information. Evidence over 40 specimens have been found, many of them in recent years. 15 complete skulls are known, but remains have been discovered all the way from Alberta to New Mexico. And the top predator of its time, Tyrannosaurus, has long teeth and largest head of any terrestrial carnivore, yet it also had short arms and squat body. It was basically a huge mouth on 2 long legs. I've actually just read that information the other way around, but yeah, basically that's it. Some of the basic information about T-Rex. But yeah, there was something I was going to say, but oh yeah, all the specimens, and just T-Rex being such a big name dinosaur, that's why we have so much information about this awesome animal. So yeah, we're going to try to get it. Okay, here's what it looks like once you get the first little thing of cardboard off. It looks more like the regular figures, just the plastic see-through screen. I'm gonna try. The phone has fell off 2 times already. And then the back, you can see the other Tyrannosaurs. So this T-Rex is in the 135 scale, along with the regular colored one, and then most of the figures are 1/18 scale, but the D-Long is in 1/6 scale. I guess where it's just such a small Tyrannosaur. But yeah, now we're going to try to unbox it. I'm just going to scoot this up a little, so I mean you won't be able to see the full box, but I don't think that's the biggest problem. Here, I'm just going to cut this with scissors real quick. Well, I finally got the little tape thing. I kind of damaged the box a little trying to get it out, but I finally got it, so we'll get the figure out so y'all can see. Okay, so first up we've got the little postcard and stuff. Just slide it all the way out. Voila, there we go. I think this figure has 2 sets of legs. One that's like is for the base, and one that like isn't for the base. So yeah, we'll get him out of his, or her, I guess. Since it's based off the Walking with Dinosaurs one, it's probably actually based on the girl one, so. Yeah, so you've got the little instruction sheet and the card. It's got like the information that's on the box. The Beast of the Mesozoic artwork is awesome though. That T-Rex over that Edmontosaurus looks great. But yeah, let's get this figure out. But yeah, so this is how it comes. I'm just gonna, since all these things have these little cords, I'm just gonna cut all the little cords and stuff, and then I'll come back whenever they're all free. Okay, so we got it out, at least part of it. So I got the first half and the tail out. I still need to put the tail on though. I don't know if I'm gonna use the other legs though, so these, that was a close call. These are the legs that have a little bit more bend, so these are the ones that you have to use the base for. These, I think, are the legs that it can stand on without the base, but I'm still just going to use the base, but I'm going to just keep these legs on. And then it's got the other feet options. These ones that have like a, well, you can see, they're more like, the claws are down, like almost like, it's like almost like how like a bird of prey like grabs onto something. And these are just the standard legs, like just the standing ones. And these are, I guess, more of a walking pose leg. But I'm just going to keep the regular ones on and just keep those ones packaged. But yeah, I'm going to put the tail on and then we'll get into the rest of the review. Wow, after getting this figure put together, that's all I can say. Wow, this is an amazing figure. Looks great. I know it's supposed to be able to stand, but it's still crazy. Seeing those little feet, seeing it actually stand, like it gives you an idea of how the animal actually really was. And wow, I love this figure. It looks so realistic. The color scheme of the Walking with Dinosaurs color scheme looks awesome on the Beast of the Mesozoic figure. Wow. And I mean, I think pretty confidently this figure can stand on its own, but since I give you the option, I'll probably keep mine on the base just to be safe. Well, once I put it on my collection, I'll put it on the base. But yeah, wow, this figure is just amazing. Yeah, and I'm just gonna go over the figure. This figure is just awesome. I mean, it looks great. The colors, like I said, are awesome. It's got some nice bend, some nice posability. And, you know, it's got even more posability if you want to switch the legs out. I'm personally not going to do that, though. That's why I'm just keeping this one. But, yeah, wow. And this figure is almost perfect to me because I love the color scheme of the Walking with Dinosaurs T-Rex, but I hated how it looked. Like, it always just looked weird to me. Even when I was little, I always thought it looked kind of weird. So seeing the figure with that color scheme but look more like an actual T-Rex is just perfect. So yeah, as far as the figure, no inaccuracy, and they even did the lips, which, I mean, I think there's still some debate over it, but I think I lean the lip side, and I'm not, since there's so many figures, I'm not the biggest lip or no lip critic, because I think there's evidence for both sides, but I think the lip route is definitely probably the more likely route, so I'm happy that they did the lips on this figure. But yeah, awesome. So yeah, no complaints as far as accuracy. I think this is probably one of the most accurate T-Rex figures ever, currently at least, and it looks great. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say as far as the accuracy and stuff. I mean, and just the figure itself. The figure is awesome. Would definitely recommend getting it if you can get your hands on it. And even if you can't get this color variant, there's, in the 135 scale, there's the other one. It's just the regular color scheme, which still looks really good, but I just wanted this one because I love Walking with Dinosaurs so much, and I do prefer this color scheme. So yeah, and obviously, I usually talk about like some documentaries and stuff that the dinosaurs featured in, but T-Rex is such a popular dinosaur that it's in so many different documentaries that I'm not going to go over all of them, but obviously I'm going to talk a little bit about Walking with Dinosaurs. Walking with Dinosaurs is the first really big popular dinosaur documentary that actually shows them as like animals, so this figure paying homage to that is just amazing, and I love this figure so much. Looks great, and I see this figure, I think of two things. Beast of the Mesozoic, well, a few things. Beast of the Mesozoic, Walking with Dinosaurs, and T-Rex. Just perfect. There's nothing else I can really say about this figure. It's one of my favorite figures in my whole collection. It's just awesome. But yeah, now we'll get into some information about the animal, about this amazing animal. Okay, so obviously with information about T-Rex or Tyrannosaurus Rex, it's the most famous dinosaur, and I don't think that's much of a debate. There's so much research done on T-Rex that what I'm going to be mentioning is really just the scratching the surface of information that we currently know about T-Rex. So T-Rex lived in the Hell Creek Formation in the United States, where it was the apex predator with little direct competition except for with other tyrannosaurs. And where it lived and hunted, there was a variety of dinosaurs, including herbivores like Triceratops, Ankylosaurus, Edmontosaurus, Torosaurus. So a lot of herbivorous dinosaurs that T-Rex could hunt in the Hell Creek Formation, as well as there not being many other predators in the ecosystem. At least there's not like any really other large predators, and there is one possible like middle tier predator, and that is either Nanotyrannus, which has a lot of debate, or probably the more likely theory, juvenile Rexes filled the niche, with juvenile Rexes being smaller and slimmer, being faster, and being able to hunt the smaller prey in the ecosystem. There's a good chance that Tyrannosaurus filled almost every niche every predatory niche in the environment, filling the smaller to medium-sized predator niche as well as the top predator niche, as the juveniles preying on most of the smaller herbivores, while the adults preying on most of the larger herbivores. But that's still a debate on whether or not Nanotyrannus was valid. I think most of the evidence leans against it right now, with most of those fossils probably being juvenile Rex, but that is up for debate, and I might do a controversial case on that someday. But yeah, T-Rex was the king of its environment, the apex predator of this environment, and like I said, it had little to no direct competition except with other Tyrannosaurus Rexes, and maybe if it went in the water like in Prehistoric Planet, then it might have had some issues, but on the land at least it had little to no direct competition. T-Rex is also one of the biggest theropods ever to exist, along with some of the huge carcharodontosaurids like Giganotosaurus, as well as some of the other large theropods like Spinosaurus. And with all this, T-Rex is one of the largest predators and probably one of the heaviest, if not the heaviest, theropods ever. At least off what we've discovered, it probably is the heaviest. And T-Rex is also in Tyrannosaurinae with other tyrannosaurs like Daspletosaurus, and Torosaurus. As well as this group, as well as Albertosaurinae, make up. And Albertosaurinae includes theropods like Albertosaurus or other Tyrannosaurs like Albertosaurus. But these two groups come together to form Tyrannosaurinae, which is the group that holds all of the large Tyrannosaurs. And yeah, now we're just going to go into some comparisons with some other specific figures. Okay, and while I'm doing the comparison with these other figures, this is also kind of going to be the featured figure section, so I'll go over each of these figures individually. So first we're going to go up with the only other T-Rex figure I'm going to show off in this video, which is the 135 scale Carnegie Collection T-Rex. So this figure is marketed as the same size, and you can tell these figures are really, really similar in size, so definitely works out as a good pair. Definitely could see this as like a male-female pair. Probably with the Beast of the Mesozoic one being the female, being the more naturalistic looking color scheme, with the male being the brighter red, and with the Walking with Dinosaur one being a female, I think it definitely makes sense to do that pair. And then we'll go over those other Tyrannosaurs. So yeah, that was the Safari Ltd Carnegie Collection T-Rex. Obviously a retired figure, but you can still get that one, I believe, from some places. And then this is the PNSO Tarbosaurus, close relative of T-Rex. And then we have the Dinosaur King Daspletosaurus, which is another Tyrannosaur that's really closely related to T-Rex. And then we have Albertosaurus, which is another Tyrannosaur, not as closely related to T-Rex as Daspletosaurus and Tarbosaurus, but it is a relative nonetheless. But yeah, this is the Safari Ltd really recent Albertosaurus, which is an awesome figure. And I have reviewed that one on the channel, so any of these figures that I've already reviewed on the channel, I'll put links to. And then we have the Schleich, smaller size scale Giganotosaurus. Then the Safari Ltd Spinosaurus. This one might be retired, I'm not for sure. And then we've got the Safari Ltd Dino Dana Nanotyrannus. This subs in really good for a juvenile T-Rex directly with this one. And then we've got two of the Field Museum figures. These are the Safari Ltd Field Museum Torosaurus and Anatotitan. Anatotitan's technically just Edmontosaurus annectans, but that's when it was classified as another type of dinosaur, but it is Edmontosaurus annectans. Then we've got the PNSO Ankylosaurus, which I think scales fairly well with this figure. Two dinosaurs that, like I said, lived both in the Hell Creek Formation. Then we've got another Beast of the Mesozoic figure. I think this is the only other Beast of the Mesozoic figure I've reviewed so far. The Beast of the Mesozoic Zuniceratops, which is actually on a larger scale, giving you an idea of how much bigger T-Rex was. Because, I mean, this is a smaller scale Zuniceratops. And then we've got the Beast of the Mesozoic Triceratops, which is supposed to be a subadult, but it subs in perfectly as a 135 scale adult Triceratops. So yeah, these figures go perfectly together, because while this one is actually supposed to be a subadult, it also goes perfect with this figure since it's a subadult of the larger scale. It subs in perfectly as a 135 scale Triceratops. So yeah, these two figures go perfectly together as far as the same size range and stuff. You know, and we know Triceratops and T-Rex directly competed with each other, so you can definitely make a cool like scene or even like a stop motion film with these two figures. But yeah, these two figures, like I said, go great together. And one thing I really wish that Beast of the Mesozoic does in the future, so they made they made the larger scale Torosaurus. I can't remember what the larger scale is, but they didn't make a 135 scale Torosaurus, but in the Torosaurus, they made the Walking with Dinosaur color scheme as like a other variant. So I really hope they make a 135 scale Torosaurus in that Walking with Dinosaurs color scheme to pair with this Rex. I think that would just be awesome. Especially, I mean, you know, both being the Walking with Dinosaurs, you know, they just go perfect together. So I really hope Beast of the Mesozoic does that at some point. But yeah, now we're going to go over some personal reasons, some personal information about T-Rex for me. So I've always liked T-Rex. I mean, I went to the Field Museum when I was younger, and I got to see Sue, which was awesome. And like, that's one of the most memorable dinosaur fossils to me by far. But like, since starting this channel, T-Rex has actually kind of risen up my list of favorite dinosaurs. Because like, for a while I almost like kind of disliked it because how popular it was, but now I see it more as just how amazing and important an animal this is. Because I mean, T-Rex has led to us finding so much information about other dinosaurs as well. So I've just realized how amazing of an animal T-Rex really is, and quit looking at it as like how popular it is, which kind of deferred me from T-Rex. But yeah, I really love T-Rex now. I think it made my top 10 favorite theropods. I'm pretty sure it actually was pretty high, so I'll put a link to that video if I remember. And yeah, with as much as I love this figure, especially with it being Walking with Dinosaurs, we might be doing some more Walking with Dinosaurs content. Just gonna say, that little thing I made with Prehistoric Planet where I went over each individual episode and planning on doing a series conclusion, which I am gonna do still, I think. I might do that with Walking with Dinosaurs as well, and I really love some of the episodes in Walking with Dinosaurs, so I definitely think that would be fun, and I definitely hope to tackle that challenge. So just tell me your thoughts on doing that, but I think I'll probably end up doing that at some point. But probably after I finish Prehistoric Planet. I still haven't watched Season 2 yet, and I still need to do the conclusion on Season 1. But yeah, I think this is going to be one of a few videos I record today since I'm going on vacation, and I want to have some content come out while I'm gone. But while I am on vacation, I'll probably try to get some more figures. I mean, I might be going to a museum, which obviously, gift shops and stuff, but I might just record some stuff so y'all can see that museum if I end up going. And yeah, I just want to thank you all so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. This was such an amazing video to make, and the more of you that like and subscribe, the more awesome content like this I can make on this channel. So yeah, thank you all so much once again, and I'm out.